Hi guys, Handicap with my dad. So 5 things scratch golfers do that you're probably not doing. So quick take on my background. Last year I was playing some really good golf, as some of the course vlogs on this channel you can see for yourself on there. Over the winter I've definitely improved my golfing IQ, but with work commitments I've been building a brand new Golf with My Dad website, which when this video comes out should already be live. So any golfing gifts, go check it out in the description and give it a check out yourself. So with time limited, I still want to play to around the scratch level mark at golf. So these are the 5 things that I'm currently doing to try and play decent-ish golf. Right guys, so tip 1 to play scratch level golf is we just got to play smarter and learn to score. Scratch golfers are not shooting the lights out when they're playing. The crazy stat is a scratch golfer averages only 2.2 birdies a round, whereas a 20 handicapper averages 0.3. So it just shows there we're not making masses and masses of birdies, but we're taking the big numbers off the scorecard. So over the winter I've definitely improved my golf IQ, understanding my dispersions, where my misses are, and that way we play away from the danger. So like here on this hole, we've got out of bounds on the left. I'm not going to bring that into play. I would much rather miss on the right. So let's control our misses more, play smarter golf and learn to score that way, and just take the big numbers off that scorecard. Down the middle. So learn to score, play smarter golf. So for smarter golf and knowing our misses is also important around the green. We don't want to short side ourselves. So back from the pro shot, let's see where we want to be missing on the green. If we're going to miss the green here, I've got plenty of green to work with, whereas if I'd gone long and left, a short sided dead, we're bringing double bogeys into play. Where here, I give myself a good chance to get up and down, and as we said back on the tee, take off the double bogeys or worse. Miss smarter, take the bogeys off, easy par. Right guys, so tip number 2 is scratch golfers hardly ever 3-putt. So the stat is scratch golfers 3-putt every 35.7 holes, whereas 20 handicappers 3-putt every 8.2 holes. So let's control that distance. I don't get much time to practice anymore, but the 5-10 minutes I get to practice, I'm just working on speed control. I put the tee pegs out 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 foot, whatever system you use. Try to feel the different distances, get better at green reading, the grains, the slopes, but just get to dial in those distances and take off those 3-putts. Take that. And the mind-blowing stat is that for 20 handicap golfers, the average distance for their second putt is 8.9 foot. Crazy giveaways, guys. Control that distance and reduce those 3-putts. Right guys, so tip 3, what a lot of scratch golfers do, they just have one shot shape and they stick to it. Whether it's on that day, if I'm hitting the fade or the draw, I stick to it on that day. If you've got a swing that is more suited to the draw or the fade, try and stick to that one. You see the big players on tour, the John Rahms power fade, DJ power fade, they still have the 2-way misses, but they're not the 2-way misses where it might be a pull or a fade. If they're aiming down the left to cut it back to target, if it stays left, it's just because the ball stayed straight. They hardly ever have the 2-way misses in terms of it's either a pull or a fade. So commit to one shake shot. It's good to have in the repertoire the different skills to be able to hit the low, the high, the cut, the draw. We all need those skills, but out on the course, when we're shooting the score, keep it simple. Choose one shot shape, what's the most comfortable, what your swing is producing, and stick to that out on the course to play more consistent golf. I've only got a wedge, so it's harder to do it, but just a little draw. And there's the little hold up draw. Pin high. So one shot shape, stick to it on the course, keep it simple. Right guys, so tip number 4, what scratch golfers do, and I definitely do, is out on the course have a go-to shot. So some days feeling a little bit stiff, the driver's not behaving, I want a bit more confident over the ball. Everyone have their own different go-to. With driver, I will just peg it down a little bit if I want to hit a little fairway cut, or I tend to go for my 21 degree iron off the tee, which if I'm not feeling it on the day, I know my mist dispersions are going to be in there. For you, it might be if you've got to go over some water, you've got to carry something, you know strike is key. You might just want to move that ball just back a smidge to make sure we're hitting on that ball. So just find yourself a comfortable go-to shot. If you're not feeling fully comfortable, if there's pressure in the middle, he's feeling it might be a hybrid off the tee, definitely a lot more forgiving. Hybrids with the thicker sole. So just get yourself a go-to comfortable shot, which you know you can call upon when it's needed the most. Keep it simple. So tip number 5 that scratch golfers have is a sharp short game. I pride myself on my short game. I've really improved my golfing IQ over the winter. I've learned everything about the bouncers, the releases, reading lies, using spin, trajectory. So again, with limited practice, but with my knowledge now. So scratch golfers, we're still only averaging 12 greens in regulation per round. So we're still having to get up and down on average 6 times a round. So that's where we're saving the scores. So really sharpen up that short game, get a better understanding of it, understanding of the different shots, the different lies from the bunkers. Controlling that spin, different lies from the bunkers. Make sure you have the basic chip and run, which you can call on any time using different clubs for different lofts, different trajectories, different distances, but basic, simple technique. Keeps the short game super simple. So I can now play the soft landing chip, which will still spin on that one. I can play the more nippier spin ball, which will check and spin a bit. And if I have short sided myself, we have got the more Hollywood shots in the locker to try and get us out of that trouble. So improve that golfing short game IQ and improve on those up and downs. Right guys, so there's 5 tips that I definitely work on, but 3 more bonus tips. Bonus tip number 1 is get yourself, if you haven't got one already, a pre-shot routine, whether it's for your approach shots on the tee, on the putting. Definitely important to get a pre-shot routine. Visualization is massive, especially for me. I like to see shots in my head, and the brain is definitely amazing that it definitely helps to replicate what you're imagining out. So get yourself a pre-shot routine. The top players of the game, you could get a stopwatch out and nearly all the shots, you could time them and they'll be pretty much the same on their pre-shot routine. So bonus tip number 1, pre-shot routine, guys. Right guys, bonus tip number 2, scratch players definitely practice and play a lot more than probably you do. Me personally, I don't get the time to practice as much as I used to back in the day, but I still want to try and play at this decent level. So what I've learned over the years, and especially over the winter, is to practice smarter. So the times I go to the range, I'm not just whacking balls willy-nilly. I look at, I video my swing, check what's going off on there. I use the indoor simulator just to make sure I know my numbers, my spin numbers, my carry numbers. So I'm practicing not as long, but I'm definitely practicing smarter. So if practice time is limited, let's just make sure we are practicing a whole lot smarter. Right guys, bonus tip number 3, scratch golfers probably have more speed than yourself. I'm definitely always chasing speed. I'm approaching 45, but I'm chasing over 130 towards 140 clubhead speed when I'm doing my speed training. On the course, I can cruise at around 125. So whatever your age, young, old, it's never too late to add a bit of speed, and it will definitely help you out on the course. As the greater the reserve tank, we can build a speed. When we're cruising out on the course, that speed will go through the bag. So hitting our irons a little bit further, taking in less club to the greens, definitely make golf a little bit easier. So I definitely prioritize now my gym work, my ability work every day. As I get a little bit older, the desk job kicks in. I still want to keep chasing that speed. So definitely go and get yourself a little bit more speed. Little cud ball. Let's have a look. Get the rain off. Don't know if you can see that. 126 club head speed, ball speed 175. So bonus tip number 3, go get some speed. Right guys, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe. It would be a big help to the channel. So they're my scratch tips that I definitely try and use to help me play around scratch level golf, which hopefully can bring some course vlogs out very, very soon. But the rain has just started again. So bonus tip number 4, to be a scratch golfer, which I need to remember today, always bring an umbrella if we're playing here in the UK. This weather, guys.